It's a lot to unpack here. I didn't consider the time, but I wanted to discuss this. This is sorrel. This is so good. My homegirl made that for me. It's homemade. What up? What up? Peace. Make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all come into my chat. Do I need these? Oh. Why not? Why not? What up, Gully? I finally caught her live. He said your homegirl sell them. She has a holistic store in the mall and shit, and I buy these different tonics from her, and I told her that I like sorrel, so she made me a batch. Fire. Sorrel is like a Caribbean drink that they primarily make it around the holidays, but I love it year round. I do. Gil, what up? What up? Make sure that y'all hit the like button as y'all come in here. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to join this live stream. He said money on the flow. This needs to be discussed. It does. Make sure that y'all go to the websites, man. I gotta ship these out in the AM. Shout out to Alan Gordon. He said, this is called Nintendo. Shout out to, oh, there go the buckle. These is going out. Make sure y'all go to the website, man. Get knitted up. He said, what beverage you drinking? It's called Sorrel. Sorrell. Goodz said J Millz came back to the league and was mid. We're going to talk about it, man. I wanted to talk about that. I've been following along for the last 3 days. It's a lot to unpack. Have y'all been following along? A lot of y'all, like DNA said, a lot of y'all said, I mean, a lot of y'all might not be familiar with who J Millz is. Are y'all familiar with who J Millz is? This needs to be discussed and put in perspective. And I also try to make sure that I come up with my own individual topics. He said, no, sir. Frank says, he said, yeah, Jarvis is hilarious. Yep, and he a weirdo. Damn, y'all come in here with the flying elbow drops on J Millz. What's that all about? I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in here, and then I'm going to proceed despite, you know, how many we got in the chat. Everybody else can catch up later and just pull it back. Are y'all familiar with who J Millz is? He might need a, I might have to provide some footnotes so y'all know who I'm talking about. He said, I remember Millz. Everybody speaks of him in past tense. Everybody speaks of him. Angela says, yes. Everybody speaks to him in past tense. Another no, sir. Someone said Young Money. Yes, he was signed to Young Money. Of course we know who he is. I remember him. He had the No, No, No joint. I seen that was mentioned by Goodz when Goodz went off, but I never heard that song. I didn't. Can you please play my beat on live and tell me if you like it? I need some constructive criticism, please. Go to Vlad. Vlad will do that for you. Me, I'm not. Try Vlad TV. I'm sure he'll play your beat on his live stream. Me? Not in a million years, pimp. He battled Enes. He said it was worth a shot. You didn't even have to approach like that. You can have my email address, and I'll send you a list of my marketing and promotional services. If you want this ear is valuable. This ear costs. Just wanted to put that out there. Ness been doing his thing for real. So are y'all familiar with this gentleman, Jay Millz? I'm gonna tell y'all who he is. Y'all not familiar with who he is. The first time that we seen Jay Millz, or the world was introduced to Jay Millz. Y'all remember how we was introduced to Jay Millz? I'm gonna see how extensive y'all knowledge of this battle rap shit goes. DNA was all over the place when he was trying to classify someone as a legend. Yeah, that made no sense. I'm gonna get to that. He deserves a flying elbow drop for his testimony in that video. I watched that video too. Jay Millz got a heavy mixtape catalog. He's better on beats. Smack, DVD, Mook versus Millz. No, that ain't it. That's not how we was introduced to him. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more shots, and then I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna refresh y'all memory. Frank Morgan, bingo. Y'all saying Sire. Frank, don't say nothing else. Frank Mosine, don't say nothing else. Everybody is saying. Somebody said Party Artie, Sire Castro, Harlem Access. That's not how we were introduced to Jay Millz. Bingo. Brandon Wilson hit it. I Am King hit it. It was Making the Band. The first time someone said Cheesecake. The first time that we was exposed to Jay Millz was Making the Band. And he was battling. It might have been Fred or Chopper. I didn't even think he really won that. Let's call it a draw. I don't think he killed whoever he was battling on Making the Band. It was Ness. It was Enes. Okay, it was Enes. All right, yeah. He didn't single-handedly win that. Ness, let's say that they was duking it out. But the way that Diddy brought him into the studio, like he was about to kill up some shit, and it was Ness, right? Ness was handling him. So I won't give the victory to Ness, and I won't give the victory to Jay Millz, but the way that Diddy brought him in the studio, he said, this is the hottest nigga in Harlem. He out here killing everybody. This is your test. So someone said it was a tie. All right. Someone else said we knew him before that. Okay, maybe you did, but for the most part, we were introduced to Jay Millz by way of Making the Band. Boom. After Making the Band, we started to see him more on Smack DVD. I believe he battled Sire Castro. I know he battled Murder Mook. He might have had maybe 3 battles on the Smack DVD platform. And then we stopped seeing him because, for those who know, he ended up getting a situation with Young Money. He was on some songs. He might have been on a video. What was that song with all them Young Money niggas was on there? I believe Jay Millz was on that joint too. What was it called? Bedrock? Was he on Bedrock? He was on Smack before Making the Band. It was Bedrock, right? All right, yeah, he was on Bedrock. Boom. All right, so he left the battle rap circuit, and he ended up being on Young Money. Let's say the highlight of his relevance was on that song Bedrock. He got a little light, but he never ever became a big figure on Young Money. He just was on there, basically. He wasn't like some of them other guys, Gutter, I believe Tiger. I can't remember who was all on that shit. But some of them other dudes started to establish themselves a little bit, started to be a little bit more visible. I feel that he might have been at a disadvantage, being as though, I believe he might have been at a disadvantage, being as though he was a New York City artist and he was on a record label with some guys from the South. although it looked good that he got him a deal and he was running around with Lil Wayne and those guys, and he was even on a song, it might have looked like he was flourishing, but he didn't. He never really established much footing. The rest of those guys that I named, I believe, after Bedrock or during the Bedrock, they was doing other shit to keep their head above water, right? But he never became a real high profile artist on Young Money. Before we knew it, he just kind of like drifted off to oblivion. All right. Jay Millz, like a lot of these battle rappers and rappers, have taken to YouTube. Jay Millz has a channel. Being as though he's Jay Millz, you would think that he would have more of a following today. When you go to his channel, he got about 6,000 subscribers. I believe he got a good part of those subscribers this past week or so because of this beef that he's in with DNA and Goodz. Right? Boom. On this channel, he has videos on his channel. He has music freestyles, he has music videos, and he does blogs or whatever. And you look at the numbers that he's generating, and you look at the time frame, like a video from 6 months ago, a video from 3 weeks ago, a video from 5 months ago, and you look at the view count, you can look at this and say he's not doing really well on YouTube. Musical dominance or relevance and battle rap relevance, it doesn't really transfer to having a following or an audience on YouTube. You gotta basically work for that. You're not promised to have that. But it's almost like he got lost in the sauce. When he got his record deal, he kind of distanced himself away from the battle rap culture. While this was happening, battle rap left the DVD circuit. He went to Young Money to do music. Battle rap left the DVD circuit and came to YouTube, where a lot of people started to flourish. You first seen Goodz on the Lions Den. Then after that, you started to see him, URL and these different battle rap leagues. Same with DNA. We watched DNA come up. Y'all remember DNA when he first came around? He was missing teeth. He was a dirty nigga. DNA was a bum when he first came around. He was. We watched DNA come up. He battled his ass off to come up. And I'm going to just go ahead and put this cherry on top right now before I go further into this dialogue. I don't think Jay Millz, well, I know Jay Millz can't do nothing with DNA in a battle. Not now. He can't. And Jay Millz probably can't beat Goodz. I don't think Jay Millz can beat Goodz in a battle. I don't think he could beat either one of these dudes in a battle today. After Young Money, or whatever happened with Jay Millz or Young Money, Jay Millz came back to battle rap. And I believe he battled K-Shine. That was his return battle. I believe it was K-Shine. He lost. He just didn't seem to have it anymore. Whatever it was that he had, he didn't seem to have it anymore. And I just listened to him say that he's had 7 battles in like the last year or so. I'm totally lost on. They said he got 3-0. Yeah, he just wasn't. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. So while he was away doing music or trying to get on the music, someone like Jay Millz, who I'd never met before, but I was in the same room with him. We was at Huddy Six. Huddy Six got a little brother. I think they call him Young Six, I believe. He was living in Miami. I was in Miami with Un and the Taliban. I mean, Un and, some of them Dipset niggas. And we went over to HUD crib. And when we got there, Jay Millz was coming out of the door. And he didn't speak to none of us. He didn't speak to Un. He didn't speak to none of us. He just kind of walked by. He kind of smirked. with his nose in the air. And I'm like, damn, that's Jay Millz and shit. And he didn't acknowledge us. He didn't at all. Boom. This is because at this time, I'm signed to Young Money. I'm better than you guys, including Un, who didn't speak to it. I know he knew Un, didn't acknowledge him. While this is going on, the battle rap culture is flourishing, and you got all of these new guys, THRU, K-Shine, Calico, Ill Will, just Be Magic, just so many different talented battle, Sue Surf, so many talented battle rappers from all over the map coming into their own, establishing their own legacy. And Jay Millz wasn't around. When he came back, he didn't have anything but a name. He didn't really have much of a track record because his relevance was kind of like centered in the Harlem battle rap scene, right? Boom. So this is what's going on right now. I gave y'all some a little bit of history on Jay Millz. We already know about DNA. We already know about Goodz. This is what's going on. Jay Millz is trying to find his way by way of YouTube, like a lot of people, and he does interviews. And for those of you who are in the know, Goodz is an entrepreneur in addition to being a battle rapper. He does little blogs and shit from his channel too. His channel ain't like that either, but he's Goodz. He's doing, I believe that he's doing well in commerce. He's selling sneakers. He has his own cologne. He's an entrepreneur. Jay Millz, the story that he told was that he wanted to interview Goodz for his platform, right? They know each other. They have a history, whatever. He wanted to interview Goodz for his platform. Goodz invited him to his, I don't know, like his clothing store or his boutique where he sells his merch at, and told him, okay, cool, I'm going to interview you too for my platform. That's normally how it goes. And if you do it this way, everybody gets to take some money and some content home. If we interview each other, I believe that that's a great exchange. That's how it should go. I seen the video. Goodz actually posted the video of when Jay Millz was at his boutique or his clothing store. And he kind of was trying to, well, he wasn't being a nice guy. He kind of like was sunning Jay Millz on camera and was telling him that I don't need your platform. And his reasoning for this was that Jay Millz didn't have much of a following. But if we cool and you respect what I'm doing, then you will still do an interview with me. You will help me get some content despite the position I'm in. If you help me, then it will elevate my position. But Goodz clearly said that he just kind of like thumbed his nose and like disrespected him. He did. It was disrespectful. He showed him no respect, and he said that I don't need to be on your platform. You ain't popping. That's kind of like what he said. So they get to trading little jabs at each other on camera, right? Boom. After this exchange, Goodz was over talking to him on the platform. He was sunning him. He was disrespectful. He was totally disrespectful. It was inappropriate. And Jay Millz deserved more respect, more courtesy than what was given to him. I thought it was some chump shit. I thought it was some sucker shit. It wasn't cool. It's nice to be important. This is something that needs to be said. It's nice to be important. It's more important to be nice, and people should live by that. Goodz wasn't nice to Jay Millz, and he kind of like was treating him like he was nothing, basically. After Jay Millz was gone, DNA, who was Goodz co-host on this podcast, they got on there and they was kind of talking about him. He said, yeah, it was some sucker shit. They got on there and they was kind of talking about him. And Goodz said that Jay Millz needs to update his resume. He's living off of old accolades. DNA said something similar. They said it together. They kind of like was kicking dirt on him. And the whole he's living off of old accolades, it could be true somewhat. You have to update and you have to continue to work. You're not rewarded for shit that you did yesterday. It don't work like that. The algorithm and the YouTube community is moving so fast. Every day there's some new content. There's somebody new coming on. Even in the battle rap community, there's a new guy who's the nigga. A new nigga come along. It was just easy to block Captain. He was one of the hotter names that just came along a couple of years ago. You got to continue to work and you got to continue to do shit to maintain your relevance, right? And they said what they said about him. So he goes back to his platform and he starts to pop his shit. He starts to talk his shit because he felt disrespected. He felt that he did get disrespected. So he started to pop his shit. And he started to speak about his resume or who he is and shit like that. Whether or not anyone wants to acknowledge Jay Millz as a legend, he is a legend in Harlem. He is. And he's one of the pioneers of battle rap culture. He didn't start it, but he was one of the guys that, his name, if a guy from Harlem started to run off names of who is the Harlem Mount Rushmore in terms of battle rapping, Jay Millz' name will be mentioned with Murder Mook and Lux and T-Rex. His name will be mentioned with those guys. You can't take away from what he did in the inception when it was in its infancy stages. You can't take away from it. If you ask each one of those guys, if you ask Mook about Jay Millz, if you ask Lux about Jay Millz, if you ask T-Rex about Jay Millz, if you ask Charlie Clips about Jay Millz, each one of those, even Uncasa, if you ask any one of those guys, they're going to mention and acknowledge him as being official, right? Boom. DNA said that he need to update his resume. I kind of agree and understand what DNA was saying. He basically saying, you was the shit in Smack DVD, and then you went to Young Money and you didn't really do much there. If you want this reverence placed upon you, then you need to be out here busting some moves and getting busy. You need to be doing a little bit more. That's what they were saying in a nutshell. Whether they said it kindly or not is based on interpretation. I felt that I felt that the way that they was treating him was inappropriate. Boom. DNA did an interview today. So it's going back and forth. Everybody's saying they little shit. It's going back and forth. Jay Millz says, whether or not you niggas want to acknowledge me or give me my props, I went further than both of you niggas. I went further than both of you niggas. Y'all just battle rappers. Me, I battle rap, and I got a record deal, and I was on a song with Lil Wayne. I've recorded with Young Money. I made it way past where I've been is where you niggas trying to go, and y'all didn't make it as far as me. So show some fucking respect, right? That's true. That's all true. Everybody that's a battle rappers' music don't translate into good music. Very few battle rappers have good music. Sue Surf got good music. Serious Jones has done some good music. Uncasa has done some good music. He's a battle rapper. Well, he started out a battle rapper. You probably could name, y'all saying Cassidy. Sue Surf I would put Sue Surf at the top as far as the battle rappers with music. I would. Someone said Cassidy. Cassidy has gotten this label as being a battle rapper, right? But his name and his battle rap legacy came from one battle, him and Freeway. After the Freeway situation, me personally, I never seen Cassidy kill anybody. I've seen him in some battles, but I've never seen him demolish anybody. I've never seen it. So whether or not you want to label him an official battle rapper is up to you. But in my eyes, no. He got that name from that Freeway situation. Boom. All right. So Jay Millz is on Young Money. It didn't work out for him musically, but he made it further than DNA and Goodz, right? Boom. So they taking shots at each other. At the end of the day, I don't think Jay Millz can touch. I know he can't touch DNA. He can't, not battling. And Goodz probably would beat him too. But he felt disrespected. So they're pulling each other's card. I watched an interview that DNA did today. And in the beginning, it was subtle. The things that DNA was saying, it was kind of subtle. But it ended up being barbaric, the shit that he was saying. I feel that DNA is in a position to disrespect Jay Millz. I feel that he's not in a position to disrespect Jay Millz because, number one, you started out, you was a dirty bum. You started out, you was a bum and you was dirty, man, with missing teeth and shit. You got your grill together and shit, and now you want to fight. Now you want to stick your chest out, but you can't do that. If you was a bum, we not taking no disrespect from bums. You not gonna get dressed and start dissing niggas. You know what I'm saying? When your grill was fucked up, when you was missing teeth, you was not disrespecting people like Jay Millz, but you got your teeth fixed, you got your leather jacket on. You know what I'm saying? We watched you, my nigga. You was a bum. We watched you clean yourself out. You used to didn't have no haircut. DNA used to come with no shape up. Like DNA looked like he was probably damn near homeless battling when he started. It's on tape. You can go look at it when he first came around. This is the truth. So we not respecting that what you doing. The guy that was interviewing him asked him some questions, and DNA said it's a difference between a pioneer and a legend. DNA said there's a difference between a pioneer and a legend. What do y'all think about that statement? Do y'all think pioneers are legends, or is there some separation? They said he was on Clip's couch. I remember all of that. It's on YouTube. You can look this up. DNA was a bum. He was. No leather jackets, no polo, no Gucci, nothing. Big ass white t-shirt, gas station t-shirts, and big ass hoodie, hand-me-down looking nigga. This is the truth. I'm not dissing, this is the truth. So don't do that, right? Is there a separation between pioneer and legend? For instance, you have pioneers in hip hop. Gongu Roach, I appreciate your super chat. Jay Millz was signed to Tone and Ninja of Wanna Blow Records. I remember on this the thumbnail, he got the Wanna Blow chain on. Before Young Money, they had a small deal with Steve Rifkin, SRC Records. Jay's first single was produced by Scott Storch. It just didn't do well. This is in 2005. He deserves some respect. I believe. Just because you've been around a long time don't make you a legend. Hold on. When you speak of pioneers in hip hop, you would say someone like Kurtis Blow. Is Kurtis Blow a legend? You would speak of someone like Melly Mel from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. This is a pioneer. Is Melly Mel a legend? I think so. Is Curtis Blow a legend? I think so. Now, tell me where is the separation? Tell me where is the separation? Hold on. Wasn't Jay Millz on that song with Vado called Respect the Jooks? Wasn't Jay Millz on that song with Vado called Respect the Jooks? I need a witness. Was Jay Millz on a song with Vado called Respect the Jooks? Was that shit fire? Was that shit fire? That shit was fire, right? That shit was fire. Produced by Scram Jones. Yes, he was with Vado on that song. That shit was blazing hot. Them niggas killed that shit, right? So he deserves some motherfucking respect. He said, yeah, he was. Plus, it was a video. He deserves some motherfucking respect. He shouldn't be being disrespected like he's nothing by somebody like DNA, number one. And Goodz, you know, if you want to keep it real, like, they are in no position to disrespect this nigga. They ain't in no position. They are in no position to disrespect this nigga, right? That just came back to my mind that he was on that song. Getting back to the point I was trying to make, Jay Millz said there's a difference between legends and pioneers. DNA said, I'm a legend. Oh, he's a pioneer, but he's no legend. Is DNA in a position to say that about Jay Millz? Is he in is he in a position to say that? Are they in a position to say that? He says somewhat. When the interview asked DNA, what do you mean Jay Millz isn't a legend? DNA said, well, I'm gonna be talked about. They're gonna talk about me. I got 200 battles, yada, yada, yada. My work is documented. And the interviewer said, well, Jay Millz battled Murder Mook, and that everybody knows about that. That was one of the legendary moments on Smack DVD. Jay Millz was also on Making the Band battling Ines. That was a network television look. That was a network television look. So is DNA in a position to say that Jay Millz isn't legend in battle rapping? No. DNA has given himself too much credit that he doesn't deserve. I don't think DNA is a legend, or in my opinion, according to his definition, you can do legendary things and still not be a legend. That's a fact. That Ines and Jay Millz battle was legendary for primetime television. Charlie Clips, Loaded Lux, Sue Surf, Motor Mook, Tay Rock, Sirius Jones are the legends. When you say that, is that based on all of those guys having more battle rap moments than Jay Millz? Because Jay Millz is on a song with all them Young Money niggas. He was on Bedrock. Bedrock was a hit song. I believe that those guys that you named, all of those guys that you named, Charlie Clips, Loaded Lux, Sue Surf, Murder Mook, Tay Rock, Sirius Jones, would love to have been in that position on Young Money, recording that song with the rest of those people. What y'all think about that? Jay Millz ain't a legend, he's a pioneer. Jay Millz didn't make it in the major leagues. This new wave of battle rappers are legends of the playgrounds. on MTV at that. DNA isn't a legend either, but he's currently active, so his trajectory is higher, while Millz had already hit his peak. Millz can't be legendary, he left. I get what you're saying when you said that he can't be legendary because he left. He did kind of leave when it was on the media infancy stages of being recorded. He did his Smack DVD appearances, and then he was going to be with Young Money. So whether or not anybody wants to acknowledge him as being a battle rap legend, he's a battle rap legend in Harlem. He is. He is. He is. Now, let me talk about Goodz for a minute. Did y'all know that Goodz had some type of association with Young Money too? Did anybody in here know that? Jay Millz said that. Goodz had, did anybody know in here to know that Goodz was either signed to Young Money or had some type of affiliation with Young Money? Anybody? Spazzolini said, yeah, I knew. Yeah, with Wayne. Yeah, I knew. So y'all knew about this. Somebody said when. So y'all knew about this. Yeah, Goodz Young Money deal was quiet. All right, I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. He said that you done been around Wayne at 2 Essence festivals, but y'all never did anything together. I didn't know that he was down with Young Money. But Jay Millz said y'all ain't never did anything together. He said you always around Swizz Beats, or you always listening to Swizz's beats. But he ain't never let you catch one of them joints. You ain't got no song with Swizz or nothing like that. This is what Jay Millz was saying. If that's the case, if that's the case, I think that's some pretty damaging information. Exactly. What did you do, Goodz, when you was around Wayne? He said there is no case. Yeah, he went to Lil Wayne's house. Somebody says Goodz damn near corny too. Let me speak about Goodz, who I respect, his contributions. Early on, he was getting busy. And he still has his moments, in my opinion. He still has his moments. But the way that he acts, like his character, and the shit that he be spitting, it be a little exaggerated. Like he has this, he call it slick talk. He call it slick talk. And I be tuned in. I want to hear something slick too. And I be listening. And very rarely do he floor me with one of his lines. Like, it'd be more so he says something. When he says the shit, he says it with conviction. You think what I'm saying? But I don't get the slick element. I don't get it. Sometimes there's something there. They said slick talk is Bugsy. That's a great point. When you speak of slick talk, do y'all know about Bugsy from Philly? They said brag rap. Do y'all know about Bugsy from Philly? Have y'all ever heard Bugsy? Anybody? Has anybody in here ever heard Bugsy from Philly? That's slick talk. He used to put out freestyles on Instagram, and then he stopped. But he was going strong for like 2 years. You probably can, because, see, he stopped. Somebody said for sure. He stopped. But he was talking some slick shit for real. Now, you probably can look up Bugsy on YouTube, and some of those Instagram clips, he used to have some shit called Slick Talk Sundays. He would upload a freestyle every Sunday, and he was talking some slick shit for real. Now, Goodz, on the other hand, sometimes he'll bring it, and sometimes he don't. What I'm trying to say is this. I don't think they was in a position to say some of the things that they said about Jay Millz, I think it was inappropriate. But the whole thing about you got to update your resume, that's true, but that applies for everybody. That applies for everybody. It does. Him and Goodz was going back and forth about slick talking. Goodz ain't want no smoke. Nah, Goodz can't do nothing with Bugsy. No. He still got those Slick Talk Sundays on YouTube. Okay, y'all, Bugsy is from out west. He's from out west. He's either from West Philly or Southwest. It might be West Philly. Look up Bugsy on YouTube, and that's Slick Talk. Getting back to the point I was trying to make, I think that some of the shit that they were saying to Jay Millz is very true. DNA said, man, you got to get back in the field. And Jay Millz said, well, I done had 7 battles in the last 2 years or some shit like that, whatever he said. He said, I had more battles recently than you and Goodz combined. He said, Goodz has had 2 battles in the last 3 years. And I believe he said, DNA has had 6 in the last 2 years. And he didn't battle at all in 2025. Jay Millz said, I've had 7. I believe if he didn't say the last 3 years, he might have said this year. Whatever the case, I haven't heard about none of them joints. I didn't. Goodz sound like a hater most of the time. Gully, you nailed it on Goodz. He from Southwest. That's why I respect your hustle. You keep your foot on the gas, no brakes. Anybody can get it in battle rap world. The word inappropriate does not apply in this world. I disagree with you. Because all of those battle rappers, they didn't want it to stay there. They didn't want it to stay at the battle rap level. They wanted collabs. They wanted features. They wanted to be on songs. They wanted to be full-fledged rappers. They didn't want to just freestyle and battle rap people. They wanted to be full-fledged rappers. And whether anybody respects his accomplishments or not, Jay Millz was on that song Bedrock, and Bedrock was a national hit, probably an international hit. That song Bedrock was really, that was a really good look, and it was a really, really big moment for somebody that started out on Smack DVD battling. So they can't minimize the shit that he done, but what they said, it applies to him. They said, you have to update your resume and you need to get back in the field. During the course of that, DNA basically said, shit, I'll get down with you as a warm-up. And then on his interview that he did today, he said he was garbage. He said, you can't fuck with me, period. I'll tear your ass up. You can't fuck with me in rapping. I believe that. I believe DNA will tear Jay Millz' ass up. I do believe that. At the end of the day, if it comes down to, okay, you said what you said, I have my opinion, I said what I said, you can't fuck with me. I believe DNA got that. I do. And I'm being transparent. Something about, I seen Jay Millz battle, I think it was K-Shine when he came back, because everybody wanted to hear what he was going to do when he came back. He lost the battle, and I watched that battle. He didn't say anything that was, I'm being for real. He didn't say anything that was dazzling. It was like while he was gone, the guys who probably grew up watching him on Smack DVD, they might have been 13, 14, shit like that. They took what it was that he was doing and took that shit to another level. The only guys from that era who continues to be able to battle, compete, trade punches, damage niggas in this day and age from that era is Murder Mook and Lux. That's it. I feel, personally, even T-Rex has slipped over the years. He has his moments, but as far as the excellence level, I believe that would just be the guys from Smack DVD. I believe that would just be consistently. Serious Jones has his moments too. Tay Rock wasn't on Smack. Tay Rock was on the Lions then. He wasn't on Smack. I believe that would just belong to Loaded Lux and Murder Mook. Put them in a class by themselves. When Jay Millz came back from his, I don't know, his break from battle rap and going to being a musician, when he came back, he almost sounded like outdated. He almost sounded like, you can't fuck with these new niggas. I'm being for real. It just sounded like these new niggas was rapping like Nas and them niggas, and Jay Millz sounded like broken glass everywhere. That's what he sounded like. He did. And he said, Cool Mo D, you gotta take the you gotta take you gotta take the constructive you have to take the constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should learn from this in terms of these three guys who was in this debate. I have an ear, and I've been around long enough to remember Jay Millz. So when he came back, he don't even have the same following. And if you look on, if you go to his YouTube channel and look at his views and look at his audience, you can see that he fucked up. He fucked up. He did. He did. He probably should have continued to, fuck with the battle rap world in addition to being a musician. I don't think there's no law against that. But while he was away, it's just like a boxer, man. You got to stay in the ring, man. You got to stay in the ring, man. If you want to stay sharp, man, you got to be in the gym training every day, and your skills will remain, your instincts, all of that will remain grade A. Somebody said read dollars too. They have to continue to train, compete, and maybe your skills are, you get out of something what you put into it. You do. He said disrespectful. Man, I'm being for real. I'm being for real. The fact that DNA said, you can't fuck with me. He said you can't rap. Like he said some shit. He said some shit, and I was like, damn. When somebody speaks to you in that manner about something that you do professionally, that's gotta hurt, and there's no way out of that bag unless you put some fucking words together. Straight up. He said Reed Dollars elevated more than Millz. He wasn't lying. Charlie Clip still fire Gully. Ness still seems fresh, but Ness, Charlie Clips, them guys continued to battle. They did. DNA said he would freestyle and beat him. You have to have a conversational flow when you battle rap. His shit sound like he reading off a paper. I'll say this, though. Jay Millz has people talking, so his name is his name. This moment, everything that's going on right now, it probably would do him some justice. There's people that don't know him. There's people that don't know him. When you speak about battle rap, even in regards to the Harlem guys, they're going to name Mook, Clips, T-Rex. They're going to name Head Ice. You know, they might, if a person wasn't around back then, they might leave Jay Millz out. And that's because he was away trying to be a musician, I guess. Millz might have to put a beat on. It's over for him. Damn, it's a new day. Man, he gonna have to get one of these. He gonna have to get one of these, and he gonna have to get a tablet, and he gonna have to get the fucking writing. Blogging ain't gonna be everybody's life preserver, because this is what it started out as, blogging. He wanted to interview Goodz. I think that was fucked up the way Goodz treated him, like he was nothing. Even if his platform isn't huge. I've done interviews, me. I've got on other people's platform who didn't have a following. But you showed up to my event with your camera. You showed up to one of my pop-ups with your camera. I'm gonna get on your platform. I'm gonna give you love because you're here and you striving. Like, who's to say that tomorrow, next month, next year, that you're not no heavyweight in media? I've done that, and it don't matter to me about how much of a following that you have. I respect what you do, and I also respect the fact that you want me on your platform. You know what I'm saying? So, Goodz saying I don't need to be on your platform, and you know, that wasn't nice. That wasn't cool at all. It was fucked up. He shouldn't have been doing that. But you know, you find out who are your friends, and you find out who people are during, you know, shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know how a person feel about you until they get mad. He's a good blogger though. Millz is a legend. He turned his back on Harlem. As far as you said, he said, have you seen Goodz sneakers? They terrible. As far as you said he turned his back on Harlem, I said at the beginning of this video, we was in Miami, we seen Jay Millz. Un was standing right next to me, and he didn't know me, and he might not have knew Kiani and the rest of the guys that was with us, but I know he knew Un. And he didn't really acknowledge us. He didn't really acknowledge Un and shit. It was like he was on some Hollywood shit. So if this is what he gets, if this is what it came to, maybe it'll, you know, maybe it's his payment for when he was in Relevance, how he was carrying it. There you go. Jay Millz always been garbage to me. Goodz is an undercover hater. They could be using this to get Millz some traction. Nah, they wasn't. That's not what was going on. Jay Millz said that he lives in California now. He said before he was on the East Coast, and before he left, he wanted to get some content. He wanted to interview Goodz, so he went to Goods' spot, and he just, it's on everything that I'm saying. All y'all got to do is look up Goodz and Jay Millz. It's a mess right now. I believe I'm one of the only other media outlets outside of them covering it themselves that said anything about it, but I felt it was worth a conversation. He said facts, he was. You can tell that Jay Millz thought Goodz was his friend, but Goodz did not feel the same way. That's what I got out of it. That's what I got out of it. And it played out on camera, which was fucked up. I would never treat nobody like that. Especially a professional. Like, no matter how you, and then the shit that Goodz said afterwards. You running around here living off of old accomplishments and shit like that. That wasn't cool. That wasn't what's up. It's a lot of people that get on and do interviews every day who Relevance was in the 90s. That was 30 years ago. Relevance was in the 1980s. That's 40 years ago. That is just no excuse for the way that Goodz was treating him. It wasn't. And like Jay Millz said, I made it further. I made it way further than both of you niggas. And he started to run off his resume as far as projects and mixtapes. And I believe he ended up saying, I got more projects out than both of you niggas. So Goodz told Jay Millz he don't care if he died today, he not gonna miss him. That's fucked up. Goodz says you can know somebody for 20 years and not be their friends. That was wild. Goodz is a phony. Smile in your face, stab you in the back. Gully, why is MC Shan viral? Shan always doing some crazy shit, man. Taking his teeth out of his mouth. Talking crazy. I hate to see Shan in that condition. If you're not old enough, you have no idea the level of cool and the high regard that this man was held in his heyday. He's a part of the Juice crew. At a time, you can almost say he almost rivaled LL Cool J briefly and shit, but Bugsy is from Southwest. Goodz' dad is a white man. I think I heard that. Millz energy constant. You fucked that. Fuck that up. He said Millz provoked it. Millz made it to the point where every MC who put pen to paper aspired to go. I agree, and that's what he was saying. Whether or not DNA wants to acknowledge him as a legend, he's a legend in some people's eyes, and he's definitely a legend in Harlem. If you, like I said, if they made a Mount Rushmore in Harlem of the battle rappers that came out of Harlem, J Millz' face will probably be up there. And if you asked his peers about him and his accomplishments, he's official. Poster Boy need to make a comeback. Uncasa was right next to him when he battled Move, but he sure didn't speak. Gully, I think you would have told him to eat a dick. You know I would have told him to eat a dick. I would have just left. If I was Millz and I seen how he was acting, I would have just left. And, you know, I just wouldn't have fucked with him no more. Like, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. That's just it. He wouldn't be on there. He ain't better than Mook, Lux, Clips, or Rex. If you ask those guys who came up battling him, I think J Millz was a part of a crew called Most Hated. I think J Millz and Votto was on the same squad at a point in time. But you can't remove him. I'm telling you, from a historian's point of view, J Millz is amongst them guys. T-Rex, Murder Mook, Loaded Lux, Charlie Clips. He's right in there with them and acknowledged by them. They will tell you that. He said they brodies. You know we live in a what are you doing now society. Millz is washed. DNA told him that he has to, he got to update his resume. But that goes for everybody. I wouldn't have been able to continue to come on this platform in front of y'all and just talk. I had to put out albums. I had to write books. Nobody cares that I interviewed Haitian Jack. That was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago already. You don't get credit today for that shit that you did yesterday. You got to keep on piling up accomplishments on top of accomplishments on top of accomplishments if you want to maintain relevance. That go for everybody. So the shit that they were saying to J Millz, you know, nigga, get your pen and get the writing and, you know, get on your A+ game. For real. It's funny that they're having this, you know, dispute because of podcasting. This is crazy to watch that unfold like that because of podcasting, but that's what everybody's trying to do now. That's these niggas need to try to find, this go for everybody. Finding something original to do will work. It will always work. Finding something original to do will work. Straight up. Millz need to do a battle rap commentary. Who would be like Daniel Cormier is the UFC. Used to be's don't make money anymore. Goodz do business with Young Money now too. But ain't nothing popping. I didn't even know the Goodz was signed to Young Money. I didn't until J Millz said it. And J Millz said, you be around Wayne all the time. He said, Wayne be in the studio every night. Why don't you got some workout with Lil Wayne? It was news to me that Goodz was on Young Money. I didn't know that. The fact that Millz has songs that charted and decided to come back to battle rap should be celebrated more. I think he came back to battle rap because he had to. DNA said that Wayne don't speak to him no more, and this is all he has left. So you right about finding something original. I became a gunsmith, and being black, I'm in a lane of my own. Goodz is crazy selling cheap made in China out of false leather sneakers. You can ask anyone who has a pair. Slick walks. Cassidy predicted the decline of battle rap. I felt that it got too big. Too many leagues, too many battlers. When it was contained, it was cool. I think URL fumbled the ball as far as battle rap. What I mean by that is they got greedy and they took battle rap off of YouTube and made people buy this app. Or what was the name of that app that they wanted everybody to buy? It had a name. And they probably lost 70% of the following when they did that. Caffeine. Nobody really got off into that. You had to be a battle rap extremist to go through all of that to watch a battle. Y'all remember when URL battles was uploaded to YouTube? Like they would battle over the weekend, like they might battle on a Friday or Saturday night, and that shit was on YouTube by like Wednesday. Y'all remember that? That was a good fucking period, man. Like that was a good fucking, man, I remember you would know they would advertise a battle. And motherfuckers would be on their seat, man. Like, I can't wait till this battle drop. They would come out in a few days and shit like that. He said, we would never get that feeling again. Them niggas got desperate. Smack used to upload each round separately. Yeah. When he got greedy and wanted to put it on an app, it fucked it all up. And it caused other battle rap leagues to sprout up. We ain't got to wait on them niggas. We don't got to buy no app or nothing. We gonna upload our battle right away. UW and these different battle rap leagues. We're gonna have a battle. We gonna upload it right away. You won't have to wait. And before you know it, Smack almost caused other battle rap leagues to sprout up out of nowhere. And it wasn't contained anymore. And before you know it, you can't keep track of all of this shit going on. But when the uploads used to be on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays and shit like that, after they battled on the weekends, we knew what was go to World Star or go to YouTube and that shit would be on there. And that was probably like the peak or the climax of the battle rap culture. After that, they got greedy and it tanked the whole shit. It's like different wrestling leagues. They totally lost me with how they switched battle rap up with this shit this week now. The app worked horribly. The app, I heard, don't even be updated like that. When Goodz showed how much slick walks made, I just knew that was an AI-generated picture. As soon as Smack abandoned the format, the other leagues picked it right up. Facts. The reason why battle rap is finished, these battlers do not take it seriously. Anyway, I've been here over an hour. Y'all can go to YouTube and look up J Millz versus Goodz or J Millz versus DNA, and it's going to fill in all the blanks. Then you can pull this discussion back. It's going to make perfect sense to you. At the end of the day, like I said, I feel that J Millz was deserving of more respect. It's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. Y'all have a great evening. Like, share this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, The Real Gully TV, and follow me on Instagram at @IamGullyTV_. I'm about to go watch more of those J Millz and Goodz and DNA diss vlogs because they still going at it. But tune in. I'm out. Peace.